So I guess let's start off simple. What is art direction? Can you define that for us?
Wow, art direction. Okay, well, I mean, it really depends on the circumstance. You said age old.
It's broad.
It is broad. It depends, and that's what I want to say. Like every time I hear somebody, like on your previous podcast, you had Brandon talking about the different roles of production designer and art director, and I'm just like, yeah, it depends. It depends on the size of the show. If it's studio, if it's independent, if it's TV, if it's, talking about the students that are coming right out of MPI and independent film world that they would jump into, that's going to be completely different. The art director could be it, and they've got to do everything, So the production designer that I've been working with, James Cunningham's super amazing. And I've been working with him since 2017. And we had a way of doing work, so I would do everything and anything in my power to make his life as easy as possible. I mean, and that's pretty much the objective, is to make sure that production designer has all the time that he possibly can to do the things that he does best.
So peel that away from me. What does that involve? Like, what's your daily tasks?
Oh, well, I mean, right at the beginning. So it's like, we'd go through phases. And so, like season 1 was a little bit different than season 2 and a little bit different than season 3 because of just the growth and the way that we grew as a company. And so at the very beginning, came in and it was, we had a lot of pressure. So we're trying to make something amazing, with a little bit of money at first from just the fans. And so we tried to make every dime count and try and, make the best of what we could. And we didn't have a lot of time because they couldn't afford to bring on people to, spend a year in pre-production to build all these things before we started filming. We had 3 weeks to develop all the sets for the entire season. And then from there, we had to find the locations for all of them. And then we've got to go and determine all of the different set dressing and everything that needed to be done or obtained for that. So, I mean, there was so many things. What I was mostly responsible for were doing all the set designs, the sketches for everything that was being built, and get that to the construction department as quick as possible. And at first, it was like whatever I could do to get something to them quickly. And it's a 3D sketch or rendering, quick drawings, whatever it might be. I mean, we started out almost like napkin drawings and then kept growing and growing. And then we had more complicated drawings until in season 4, just now we had set designers from LA. We had, construction guy. We had multiple crews going, so the art department at The Chosen is huge. It's the biggest crew on set. And so we've got so many people that need to understand what that expectation is. What is the goal? So we're pressed for time, and we have to reach the goal for each episode. And in season 1, I didn't start until episode 5. So I was there 5, 6, 7, and 8 in season 1. And because when they first started filming, they filmed season 1 in a part 1 and a part 2. So I came on in the part 2 section of season 1 and finished all that. I made it on the TV show. So I'm in one of the episodes. I'm going to have to figure it out.
Are you a cameo?
Yeah, a little cameo. It was one day I'm just looking at my phone and Dallas texted me and said, "Hey, you made the show." So I was in the final cut, and you could see one of the workers crossing the path in the background. It's ridiculous. But I was there. And so anyways,
I bet I could spot you at that iconic scarf.
Yeah, and it was funny because this is my first time in Texas, I think it was July, August, super freaking hot, so I was like not real comfortable with, how I'm supposed to be dressed and everything. So one of the set decorator, I believe, is one came up and said that I looked like a zookeeper, and so I had the shoes and the hat, and that's what is actually on the TV show. So, but funny. And so in season 2, it just kept getting, more complicated. We had more locations. Season 2 is when we introduced Utah and going there and filming. And with that big, huge, beautiful set, it was just amazing.
Well, that's okay. So that's something I want to ask is,